Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another what's for dinner. So this week of what's for dinners, I tried 2 new recipes and I will have those 2 new recipes linked down below. But all of these recipes are always budget friendly. I am a working mom of 2, and so I always have to have something that's super easy and quick so that I can make it when I get home from work. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I made for dinner this week, then just keep on watching. So this first meal, I am just making some fried chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy, as well as some green beans. So I'm starting out by peeling my potatoes. I like to use a potato peeler because I don't waste as much of the potato. And also I like to peel the potato before I wash them. So that is what I'm doing right here. This meal is actually my absolute favorite meal. If anybody asks me what I want for dinner, this is what I'm gonna order at a restaurant or anyone that's making me dinner. This is what I would want. Also, if I was ever on death row and they asked me what I wanted for my last dinner, it would definitely be this. It is definitely a favorite. So now I'm just going to get started on my green beans. We like to use the French style green beans. It's just what we like. And then I'm using some beef bouillon cubes to put in there. We like doing this because it adds a lot of flavor, and also you don't have to use salt or butter, so it keeps it, very, not as fatty, I guess, but it is definitely our favorite way to make green beans. And then I like buying these pre-made chicken patties. I know they're not the best for you, but when you get off work and you just need something quick, these are super easy, and my kids love them too. I just give them to them with some either ranch or honey mustard, and they like eating them like that. So I just cook them according to the package. And now I'm going to get started on my mashed potatoes. So my mom actually taught me how to make mashed potatoes when I was really little, and so I've always just made them like this. You add a ton of butter, as you can see, some salt and pepper, and then I use my hand mixer to mix it up. So that is what I'm doing here. If you have never used your hand mixer, definitely try it. It's so much faster than a potato masher. I have a potato masher, but I would much rather use my hand mixer. And then I'm just adding a splash of milk to make it all come together. And if you've never made mashed potatoes before, definitely start with a little bit of milk. You can always add more, but you cannot take away. So just be careful with that. And then here is what my plate looks like. I just served it with some white gravy, and this is just so good. My son loves it as well. So now we're gonna get started on our chicken meatballs. I will leave this recipe linked down below. This, I actually got this recipe from one of the girls at work. She had brought it to one of our potluck dinners or, lunches. And these are so good. I have never cooked with ground chicken before, but it was definitely a nice change. And this recipe is really good. So I highly recommend trying it. If you don't try anything else in this video, definitely try this recipe. I also wanted to mention that I did follow the recipe exact, using all of the exact measurements and everything. I normally don't do that, but with this recipe, I just felt like I needed to. I think next time I will maybe cut back on the breadcrumbs or add another tablespoon of oil, because they were just a little bit too dry, but that might have been because I forgot to flip them. Also, the recipe does not tell you to flip them, but definitely flip them halfway through, because the bottom of my meatballs weren't burnt, but they were definitely browner than I like them to be. So I'm just taking a fork. I have found that this is the easiest way to incorporate things together. Anytime that you're making any sort of quote-unquote meatloaf like this, I think a fork is just the easiest way to do it, and you're not taking any of the not juices, but whenever you overwork meat and then it gets tough, that just really helps. Also, to make these meatballs, I'm just using my ice cream scoop. This is actually a professional ice cream scoop. I got it at Walmart, walmart.com, but I have found it on Amazon as well. So I will link it down below, but it has that little button in the middle, and it really just scoops everything out of there, and I really love it. So I will link the ice cream scoop down below, but it is perfect for meatballs, and it just gets like the perfect size of meatball as well. Also, don't forget to heavily spray your pan. I would have used aluminum foil, but I did not have any this day. So I decided to make ravioli Alfredo with this as well. We just thought it would be a good addition. So I'm just getting started on my Alfredo recipe. I will leave this typed out down below. I don't have a certain recipe that I follow. I just kind of trial and error with my Alfredo recipe, and this is what I found to be the best. So I will leave it typed out down below if you guys are interested, but I started making this Alfredo recipe just a few months ago, and I will never buy another jar of Alfredo again. So if you've never made your own Alfredo sauce, I highly recommend. It is super easy, really quick, and it's really, really good. So definitely recommend doing that. So now I'm just going to get started cooking my cheese ravioli. We like to get the Walmart brand ravioli. We just think it's really good. We've never tried the name brand, so it might be better. I don't know, but the Great Value brand is a lot cheaper, and we think it tastes just as good. So that is going to go ahead and start boiling. And the trick with this ravioli, the package says that it's done in 3 minutes, but I call BS on that because it is definitely not done in 3 minutes. So you just kind of have to watch it. When it starts floating to the top, then it's pretty well done. So now that my Alfredo sauce is boiling, I'm just going to add the Parmesan cheese. Normally I would add fresh Parmesan cheese, but my Walmart did not have it. They were out of stock, so I just had to use the grated, and it turned out just fine. So I am adding some parsley. I just do this to add just a little bit of color, and if you saw me rub it in my hands, that is because my grandma told me that that is the best way to use dry herbs like that. You just rub them in between your hands. It releases the oils and it gives it just a better flavor. So definitely recommend trying that. So here is everything. I have it set up for everybody to make their plates. We serve this with some broccoli on the side. And here is what my plate looked like. I took this for lunch the next day, and it was just as good heated up. So this night I did not get my husband making the grilled chicken because when I got home he already had the chicken on the grill, but I am going to show you all the sides that I made. So whenever I make frozen vegetables, just like in the microwave in these little steamable bags, I like to put butter in the bottom of a bowl. It just gives it more flavor, and I just let it sit there until it all melts. So that is what I'm doing there. And then we had these biscuits that needed to be used up, so I went ahead and put those on a pan, and I will cook those just according to the package as well. So next I'm going to get started on my pastaroni. We love these. These are really cheap and they're really easy to make. I just got the Parmesan cheese flavor, and they're only $1 at the local store. My husband was messing with me in the background because he knew I was filming, little rascal. Anyway, so I just followed the directions on the package and just cooking that up the way that you're supposed to. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to get these all to fit in the pan, but it worked out just fine. Also, I took this to work the next day and it was very, very good. So here is what my plate looked like when it was all said and done. That chicken was really, really good. My husband does a really good job on the grill. So this next meal is Italian meatballs and gnocchi. So this meal, I will leave the recipe that I used linked down below. I just got these pre-made meatballs from Walmart, and they were really good. I had frozen them because we didn't use them last week, so I had to unthaw them, and I feel like that kind of took some of the flavor out of them, but you know, it is what it is. So I just have some olive oil heating up in this pan, and I'm just putting all the meatballs in the pan to get them browned on the first side. So now I'm just going to flip the meatballs on their second side, just let those get done, and then I will flip them again before I remove them from the pan. So now I'm just going to remove my cauliflower from the microwave. I love using these steamable bags. They are cheap and they're really easy, especially whenever I need something quick and easy after I get off work. So I just did the same thing that I did with the corn, had some butter in the bottom with some salt and pepper, and I'm just going to let that sit on top until all the butter melts, and then I'll mix it together and it will be good to go. So next, I'm just going to remove all of the meatballs from the pan, and then I will get started on the tomato cream sauce. So if you guys are interested in this recipe, I will have it linked down below. It was a good recipe, but I probably will not make it again with this sauce. I just have to come to terms with the fact that I do not like tomato creamy sauces like this. I would rather have like a marinara or Alfredo. Those are pretty much the most basic sauces, but that is what I like. I just don't like heavily tomato sauces like this. But my husband loved it and my kids loved it. So if you are interested or you know that your family will like it, I will leave the recipe linked down below. Also, I would definitely compare this sauce to the Marry Me Chicken recipe. So if you liked the Marry Me Chicken, you will probably like this as well. Okay, so now we're going to get started on the potato gnocchi. I don't know where they got this in the store. I ordered it on the grocery pickup and they had it available. So the directions on the package said to add it to boiling water and then let it cook for 2 minutes. And it said by then it should be floating. But after 2 minutes, it was definitely not floating. And so I was kind of confused actually. So it ended up cooking for about 10 minutes, and I would say that it was just a little bit too mushy, but it was good. So I don't know, next time maybe I'll cook it for like 6 or 8 minutes, but you have to definitely watch it. I just removed some meatballs to just make sure that they were done in the middle. And then I added my gnocchi to the pan. I just let that simmer for a couple minutes just so that all the flavors could absorb. And then I added some Parmesan cheese. I probably would have added a little bit more, but I wanted to make sure we had enough to put on top. And then here's what my plate looked like. We serve this with some breadsticks and that cauliflower. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Also check the description box down below for more what's for dinners as well as my grocery hauls. And if you want to subscribe, I have been doing weekly vlogs if you want to connect with me on more of a personal level. So other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.